And we are live. Now, it was brought to my attention that all the major record labels are suing SUNO and other AI music creators for copyright. And there's multiple ways to look at this. The underlying thing that's going to work against them is that when they created their database, it's called training, they used other artists' material. Actually, and they admit it, they used other artists' material, let's call it to influence their AI to future generate music. So that right there is a licensing issue, which they're probably going to lose, that battle, because it's unlicensed. If they use that to create their database, that's a big problem, because they did that without licensing. Now, eventually, like everything else, I'm sure they'll come to some type of agreement, settlement, that they're going to just have to pay a licensing fee. Either past, grandfathered up to that point, and for future. But here's the problem. I was reading more on this. And what a lot of people were doing is they were putting artist names, taking snippets of lyrics, and inserting in their music creation and when it generates the lyrics. SUNO has to correct that. They can't allow that. Now, they don't allow the artist names to be put in there anymore. It tells you that's an artist. But here's the other flip side. I was around when that whole Napster thing was going on and all that LimeWire stuff. And for those who remember, the one song that caused a lot of this for copywriting was Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice, which was actually, the beat was taken from a Queen song. And Queen won. But in that case, the song really did sound exactly, with one extra beat, like the Queen song. They're going to have a hard time. Like I said, there's two ways. It's going to be a partial win because of the licensing. They're going to get that. Suno's going to lose on that. But when you say a song sounds exactly, Led Zeppelin won a lawsuit about a song that sounded similar to Stairway to Heaven, but the Led Zeppelin won. It sounded similar, but not exact. There were similarities. So there's also going to be that aspect, that does the song sound exactly like another song? Do the vocals sound like another song? And the answer to that, in probably 99% of the cases, is going to be no. It just isn't. So this is going to go through the courts, like everything else. Will they settle? There's definitely going to be appeals. So everything is frozen as it goes to higher courts. But this is going to be one hell of a battle. Now you're fighting against all the major record labels. And they've got the money behind them. So I don't see how these AI companies are going to win. Now, as an example, I just uploaded all the songs on YouTube, and it goes through a copyright check. It went through. This is the actual clip of all my songs so far that I wrote the lyrics. So YouTube has yet to flag them. because it goes through its own algorithm check when you upload a video. So it's already gone through the process. And I think that's because it's still under dispute and it's still in the courts. So until a decision is made, then they'll make the move to say anything by SUNO is copyrighted and cannot be posted. But they can't do it yet because it's still in the legal process. It has to make its due course and resolution. Then they can make a move on it. They cannot make presumptions or assumptions that, SUNO's going to lose or win, or the record labels are going to win or lose. Because, like I said, this is going through the courts. So as of right now, it's all in limbo. And we got to see how the process goes forward. But people were copying parts of a song and putting it and pasting it. And then they would put the description, the genres, like the one that I read about specifically was a Chuck Berry song. And they actually copied part of the chorus, put it in, and then put the description, the genre of the song, 50s, rockabilly. They put all these different things, and it created a song very similar to Chuck Berry song. But it's not exactly like the Chuck Berry song. And that's what I mean. If it's not exactly like the song, they can't do anything about it. Because like I said, Led Zeppelin went to court over the Stairway to Heaven. They were in court for quite some time. Because there was another artist, and it does sound like the Led Zeppelin song, Stairway to Heaven. But Led Zeppelin won because it did not sound exactly or even close to enough that Led Zeppelin was going to get hit. So there's two sides to this coin. Licensing, SUNO, and all these other AIs are losing because they used in their database to create it, the training of it, that's what they call it, to create their AI-generated music. They actually used artists' copyrighted material. And the record labels are like, what the? Can't do that. You didn't have licensing for these songs. How could you use our songs, whatever record label it is, our artists, to generate and create your AI system when we never gave you permission to use them in the first place? So they're going to lose that battle. But as far as songs, you got to prove that song that was created. But a lot of people will say that's a moot point because they cheated to begin with. Because they didn't use originality. They used other artists to influence the creation of any music that's generated on SUNO. Which does make sense. So it's like, what comes first? The chicken or the egg? Well, in this case, I think it's pretty obvious. They used copyrighted artist material without permission. So they're done. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think it's going to be a settlement of some kind, I would think, because it's just too big. I don't know what the resolution is going to be, but I'm sure there's going to be a settlement. And they're going to have to pay a licensing fee. If I had to guess. I'm just guessing. Let's see what happens. But that would probably, like most things, settle out of court. You pay the fine, and then you have to negotiate some kind of a licensing agreement with all the record labels if you're going to survive. Now, I don't know how successful they are. Can they survive? Can they survive going to court and fighting these big corporations moving forward? These big record labels. They may have to give up. Can they keep going to court and fighting all of them? Do they have the finances to do that? Like these companies have? Are you kidding? I don't think so. They're going to be priced out. with the lawsuits. So we'll see. But like I said, as an example, what you see on the screen, they're all my videos that I wrote over the last few days. And it's compiled into one clip here. And it's on YouTube. And it went through its algorithm checks. It looks for copyrighted material. Well, guess what? The video's up. No flags, no strikes, no nothing. Now, that's not to say 24 hours from now or 48 hours from now, whatever, that they do determine that there's a flag. So we'll see. This is a test to see where it stands right now. I don't think it can be, you can do that because you're making an assumption that SUNO's going to be found liable moving forward because it's in the courts. Until it's determined in the courts that any material that SUNO creators made is considered copyrighted material. That's the thrust. That is what's going to be the answer. Will it be found that anything that was created on SUNO, anything, is, and that's very broad, anything that anybody's creating on SUNO is now considered copyrighted because of how they created their AI generator for the music? I say no. I think there's definitely going to be some middle ground there when they settle. Because I'm going to tell you, like my songs, for example, they don't sound like anything else. I wrote the lyrics. But see, like someone told me, that's not the point. The music that they're creating for your songs came from their use of unlicensed artists' material, which they used to generate the songs. So that's the catch. It doesn't matter. And it's true. It does not matter. But let's see how far this goes, and I'm sure there's going to be a middle ground in a settlement. I'm assuming that. But at the same time, that sure didn't happen during the Napster days and LimeWire days. Especially if you remember Lars Ulrich from Metallica being one of them, going nuts over Napster. Absolutely nuts for those that are old enough to remember that. And a lot of people in the metal community were like, what an asshole. But to be honest, it's their music. And if we can get it for free, what's the sense? It's hurting the artist's royalties and their income. It does make dollars and cents. Because they're getting cheated. Because people are getting the music through other means and they're not purchasing it. So looking back at it all, he had a great point. And all the other artists and record labels jumped on that bandwagon. So I can understand it. I definitely can. Now, looking back at that time, we're all young and like, shit, we want to have the music. Napster, LimeWire, all those other platforms. You could just get the stuff for free. So I understand it. It's a business. And the artists suffer from it. But I also look at the overall picture, the threat of AI to so many creators out there. The Hollywood strike was a big example. Oh, they're going to replace us with AI to create scripts and screenplays and all that. And they were probably right. They probably weren't wrong. And the AI might create a more original movie than you people are regurgitating the same bullshit over and over. Because your creative juices are like toast. Burnt. So let's see where this all goes as far as the lawsuit. And there's actually multiple lawsuits. It's going to be interesting. But like I mentioned, these are my clips of the songs I wrote the lyrics to. There are 3 versions of Fault Line, 2 versions of I Detective, and the new one that I did this morning, and the others. And I'm going to play it now.
In the mist of the morning dew, daylight appears within the sky. A clearing appears in a path below. A movement blurs the eye as it moves by. The power of the mind as the petals roar. Hands held tight upon the silver bar, reaching new heights as it continues to soar. Hitting all the gears, struggling through an uphill climb, pushing all limits. Will I make it this time? Reaching to the top to start the decline, cruising to the movement machine, making it mine. Riding it fast, rocking through the tracks, hitting all speeds, never looking back. Pedal to the metal, no limit in sight. Dust clouds left behind, cyclone through the night. Roll, clouds stir, eagles glide above. No regrets, this is what I love. The path reveals a light. My body starts to purge. Energy ignites. We continue to search. Upon the clearing path, the rider nears its end. Glimmering light approaches the bend, cutting like a blade into the wind of glory. Cross the finish line in a champion story. Riding all the gears, struggling through an uphill climb, pushing all limits. Will I make it this time? Reaching to the top to stop the decline, cruising to the movement machine, making it mine. Riding it fast, rocking through the tracks, hitting all speeds, never looking back. Pedal to the metal, no limit in sight. Dust clouds left behind, cyclone through the night. Storm clouds stir, eagles glide above. No regrets, this is what I love. The path reveals a light. My body starts to purge. Energy ignites. We continue to search. Upon the clearing path, the rider nears its end. Glimmering light approaches the bend, cutting like a blade into the wind of glory. Cross the finish line in a mist of the morning dew. Daylight appears within the sky. A clearing appears in a path below. A movement blurs the eye as it moves by. The power of the right as the pedals Storm clouds stir, eagles glide above. No regrets, this is what I love. The path reveals a light, my body starts to purge. Energy ignites, we continue to search. Upon the clearing path, the rider nears its end. Glimmering light approaches the bend, cutting like a blade into the wind of glory. Cross the finish line in a champion story. Riding it fast, rocking through the tracks, hitting all speeds, never looking back. Pedal to the metal, no limit in sight. Dust clouds left behind, cyclone through the night.
Now remember, there's 3 versions of Fault Line. Three different ones.
The ground begins to crumble, cracks and fissures to form. Foundations attacked, is this the new norm? Panic drives those with fear, driven by those who seek power. Will we be driven to our darkest hour? Rumors swirl, what should we believe? Blame shifts to each other, falling on deaf ears. We build our own borders. Who will survive? Will it be law and order? Is it just conspiracy? Masterminds of the global new order. Standing in the fault line, ground trembles under my feet. Forces aligned to wage war. They will be the ones we defeat. Standing in the fault line, caught in the crossfire. Anger fills the air, leads to chaos and disorder. Warning shots ignored, writing is on the wall. What will it take before we all fall? One side pits to destroy each other, the cauldron of fire to be released. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Is this judgment day or the eve of the beast? What did we do when we had the chance to seek a commonality? Anger and voices heard above each other. Too late for this finality. Lines drawn in the sand, now wiped away by gale force winds. We all need to respect each other, or in the end, no one wins. Standing in the fault line, ground trembles under my feet. Forces aligned to wage war. They will be the ones we defeat. Standing in the fault line, caught in the crossfire. Anger fills the air, leads to chaos and disorder. Standing in the fault line, ground trembles under my feet. Forces aligned to wage war. They will be the ones we defeat. Standing in the fault line, caught in the crossfire. Anger fills the air, leads to chaos and disorder. And disorder.
There are also 2 eye detectives versions.
The innocence of youth, dreams fill their minds. Visions of fantasy, seeking treasures to find. Memories stored away to the future's past. Measurements of height, the clock ticking so fast. The hourglass of time, wonder years pass by. Reality awaits, the chosen path meets the eye. The yin and yang of life, what should I do? Promises must be made. Broken mirror, is this you? Approaching the crossroad, the train crosses the track. Storm clouds grow, should I turn and go back? Approaching the crossroad, in the still of the night, I must drive on and continue to fight. Never too late to fix what's broken inside. Anxieties pushed away, there's no need to hide. Self-esteem and confidence, the power of the mind. Filled with flowing energy, negative thoughts left behind. Speed down the highway, no lights or signs in front of you. No one in the rearview mirror, brilliant sky, sky so blue. Your destiny lies ahead, there is no limit. The crossroad now a memory, a life now infinite. Approaching the crossroad, the train crosses the track. Storm clouds grow, should I turn and go back? Approaching the crossroad, in the still of the night, I must drive on and continue to fight.
Remember, I wrote all these lyrics, so for all of these.
In the line of fire, to protect and serve. Sacrifice of many, in honor they deserve. Men and women dressed in blue, the flag waves behind them, saluting to those who gave their all, a solemn tone to our anthem. We are the ones who stand in line, no matter what the cost. We bring the peace to our streets, without them we are lost. Mainstream blinded by their bias, despite the negativity. We stand tall to protect our communities. My honor is yours to have. Under God I make the pledge. I swore an oath to protect you, our families living life on the edge. We are on the front line to ensure all are protected. We raise our voice and arms on eye detective. The bias of the media, they blacken us with fear. What do they know of reality? So-called facts, so unclear. The truth of the matter, we wait for the call to fight the crime within our streets, for justice one and all. We serve with pride and dignity, our uniform and our shield, to fight the negativity, which we will never yield. The goal is to protect and serve, in which we do our best, with love of our country, fighting crime we will not rest. My honor is yours to have. Under God I make the pledge. I swore an oath to protect you, our families living life on the edge. We are on the front line to ensure all are protected. We raise our voice and arms on eye detective. We raise Focus on eye detective.
Here's the second version of Fault Line.
The ground begins to crumble, cracks and fissures to form. Foundations attacked. Is this the new norm? Panic drives those with fear, driven by those who seek power. Will we be driven to our darkest hour? Rumors swirl, what should we believe? Blame shifts to each other, falling on deaf ears. We build our own borders, who will survive? Will it be law and order? Is it just conspiracy? Masterminds of the global new order. Ground trembles under my feet. Forces line to wage war. They will be the ones we defeat. Standing in the fault line, caught in the crossfire. Anger fills the air, leads to chaos and disorder. Warning shots ignored, writing is on the wall. What will it take before we all fall? One side pits to destroy each other, the cauldron of fire to be released. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Is this judgment day or the eve of the beast? Rumors swirl when we had the chance to seek a commonality. Anger and voices heard above each other, too late for this finality. Lines drawn in the sand, now wiped away by gale force winds. We all need to respect each other, or in the end no one wins. Standing in the fault line, ground trembles under my feet. Forces on to wage war, they will be the ones we defeat. Standing in the fault line, caught in the crossfire. Anger fills the air, leads to chaos and disorder.
So Chris already created a video for iDetective with that first iDetective song. Now, there is one more iDetective, but it's more intense. This is just going because I didn't cut this. SUNO has issues at times where it starts to do something totally different. Even though it's the one track, it just jumps to something else, which is bizarre. But I can't show you the video yet because, it's not published. And we may not be able to use it because of the lawsuit SUNO's, as I explained a few minutes ago. I did write a new one this morning, and it's included in this upload. See? It's doing? It's just doing some other shit. I'm like, I don't like that, but I left it because I felt lazy to edit it out. I don't know which song is next. Maybe the dog song, My Best Friend. There it is. And yes, I made it on purpose to make it fun.
Since the day we met, when you were at my feet, instant bond between us, watching from the passenger seat, staring into those blue eyes, our eyes focused on each other, piercing through my heart, feeling out one another. Always loyal and there for me, sitting tall for me to reach, waiting for my call, wondering what will I now teach, fetching his new ball, dropping at my feet, knowing it's time to play, I throw it down the hall. to the core. I'll love my dog to the end, a part of my life forevermore. Tycho is my new best friend. He's always there for me, even when I'm feeling down. This is the best for me. Tail waving in the air, excitement on his face. It's to go run in the yard. Who's gonna win that race?
I used that music purposely because I wanted to make it a fun song about Tycho. Here's the third version of Fault Line.
Begins to crumble, cracks and fissures to form, foundations attack. Is this the new norm? Panic drives those with fear, driven by those who seek power. But will we be driven to our darkest hour? Rumors slow, what should we believe? Blame shifts to each other, falling on deaf ears. We build our own borders. Who will survive? Will it be law and order? Is it just conspiracy? Masterminds of the global new order. Standing in the fault line, ground trembles under my feet. Both forces align to wage war. They will be the ones we defeat. Standing in the fault line, caught in the crossfire. Anger fills the air, leads to chaos and disorder. Warning shots ignored, writing is on the wall. What will it take before we all fall? One side pits to destroy each other, the cauldron of fire to be released. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Is this judgment day or the eve of the beast? What did we do when we had the chance to seek a commonality? Anger and voices heard above each other, too late for this finality. Lines drawn in the sand, now wiped away by gale force winds. We all need to respect each other, or in the end no one wins. Standing in the fault line, ground trembles under my feet. Both forces align to wage war. They will be the ones we defeat. Standing in the fault line, caught in the crossfire. Anger fills the air, leads to chaos and disorder.
Mike, you've seen the new one. Don't say what it is. The one that I wrote this morning. The meteor shower, there is one that's peaking tonight, but I have cloudy skies. I'll check the weather in a few. There is one. This is the second and final version of iDetective. Doesn't sound like an anime.
In line of fire to protect and serve, sacrifice of many in honor they deserve. Men and women dressed in blue, the flag waves behind them, saluting to those who gave their all, a solemn tone to our anthem. We are the ones who stand in line, no matter what the cost. We bring the peace to our streets, without them we are lost. Mainstream blinded by their bias, despite the negativity. We stand tall to protect our communities. My honor is yours to have. Under God I make the pledge. I swore an oath to protect you. Our families living life on the edge. We are on the front line to ensure all are protected. We raise our voice and arms on our detective. Bias of the media, it blacken us with fear. What do they know of reality? So-called facts so unclear. The truth of the matter, we wait for the call to fight the crime within our streets, for justice one and all. We serve with pride and dignity, our uniform and our shield. Despite the negativity, which we will never yield. The goal is to protect and serve, in which we do our best. With love of our country, fighting crime, we will not rest. My honor is yours to have. Under God I make the pledge. I swore an oath to protect you. Our families living life on the edge. We are on the front line to ensure all are protected. We raise our voice and arms on our detective.
I actually like that version more than the other one. It's more intense. And I wrote the lyrics for the show, for iDetective. I gotta check my satellite too after this. There's like 2 more clips. One that I wrote this morning, Michael, don't say, because you saw it on Facebook. If it clears up, I'll put the camera outside.
Billy! Billy! I need you!
Waking from a summer stage, he rises to the floor. Where is he, my only son, as she approaches the door? Looking with those infrared eyes, searching through every room. Clenching her hands in her jaw, my impending doom. Fire builds within her chest, preparing for that outward roar. I sit and watch with bating breath as she gazes through my door. Reminds me of those campy films I enjoyed as a kid. Godzilla, king of the monsters, she's about to blow a lid. Momzilla, she's the queen of the monsters, with Godzilla beside his throne. Momzilla, with all her might, instead of roaring, use the phone. Momzilla, what will I ever do? She just won't retreat. Momzilla whips her tail so high, a white flag raised in defeat. Quiet stillness fills the air, how long will it last? Defensive measures put in place to counter her mighty blast. If I lock the man cave door, I may unleash her inner beast. I sit and wonder, when will she come? Will I ever be in peace? Peeking above the monitors, watching for any clues. A matter of time till she arrives. Clop, clop, what do I do? Retreat back to her little island. Will she ever
need you.
As twilight approaches with colorful hues, daydreams turn to night. Twinkling appears slowly above the hints of the heavenly light. With each passing moment, wonders are born, like years traveled, determining that date. A look through a time machine, how long before we know their fate? The wonders and dreams race against time, the brilliance of light and shooting stars. What lies above and beyond our Earth? Imagining our travels and visits to Mars. How far can we reach our outstretched hands? There is no limit, our goals set high. Watching the meteor streak above under the night-lit sky. Could there be life out there, feeding in the Goldilocks zone? What would an exoplanet be like? Is it similar to our own? Mysteries of the universe, galaxies swirl, what is that black hole? The power and beauty of our sun, northern lights are born in the northern pole. Viewing through a telescope, revealing the secrets the naked eye can't see. What is that beautiful planet? Which planet is that? What could that be? Pulling all the charts like a captain at sea, heart pounding within my chest. A new frontier to be explored, humanity's destiny to begin its quest. Rockets launched upward with a fiery roar, risks and danger lie in its course, overcoming all challenges, atmosphere pierced with all its force. Is that a SpaceX rocket or satellite? Feelings of excitement and joy, lying back and gazing at this beautiful sight, the night-lit sky for all to enjoy. Could there be life out there, feeding in the Goldilocks zone? What would an exoplanet be like? Is it similar to our own? Mysteries of the universe, galaxies swirl, what is that black hole? The power and beauty of our sun, northern lights are born in the northern pole.
So there are this. There's actually 7 songs, but I put multiple versions because I like them all. Of those multiple. But so far I've written 7 songs, the lyrics, and of course SUNO generated the music. And I wish I could show you the comments, but I don't want to show the people's names that have sent me all kinds of stuff. They're freaking out on some of these songs. Especially when I post them on Facebook and I get private messages in Messenger. You didn't write that. Oh, yes, I did. I wrote the lyrics. No. Yeah. I didn't write the music, but I wrote the lyrics. And they just come like that. So, and I like it. But that, and like I said the other night, anybody's going to swear their shit is the best. It's a pride thing. It's, you know, mine is great. It's going to be a hit. Well, if it's a hit, SUNO's they're in a lawsuit, so not so fast. Not so fast. Slow down. It's pretty bad. Just search SUNO lawsuit, and you'll see all the information and what's going on by the record labels, and they're going after them hard. Because as I mentioned earlier, they used actual artists' music without permission, unlicensed, to create their AI generator. They call it training it. So they used actual artists' music to train their AI to create the music. So it's not the AI creating the music completely. It actually took samples from other artists and it used all that to generate actual music. So there's a licensing issue with that. That's a big problem. Now, when you create a song, does it mean that it sounds exactly like another song? No. But that's not the point. The point is they used actual artists' copyrighted material without the permission of the record labels to do so. And they're going to be in some serious shit, I think. So like I said, don't take my word for it. Search it. DuckDuckGo. I won't say Google. And check it out yourselves. It's serious. And they're all going after them. There's actually multiple platforms like SUNO that they're going after. It's not just SUNO. It's a couple of others. No, but you can do that. You can create a bridge. You can do that, Genghis. You can. The only thing is, SUNO has a limited time when it creates its music. So if you do too much, it might really ruin the whole foundation of the creation. So that's where it gets dicey. But again, this is not gonna stop me from writing lyrics. It's not. I'm gonna continue to do it. But like I said, and a lot of the lyrics I use in Momzilla are true, and she's in on it. She was in on it. It's so true. I'm looking like over the monitors to see if anything's going on. I always look at the door and I see her sometimes standing looking through the glass. Here it comes. Here she comes. Momzilla. How many times have I said it? Here comes Momzilla. So I finally said, you know what? I'm going to do it. Because Mike put that in my head yesterday. So I wrote it this morning. And she likes it. I actually had to go to the room and tape her voice. Ma, say this. And she did. And she knew what I was going to do. It wasn't like she doesn't know, because I actually played the song for her a couple of times and she was laughing and she had a kick out of it. She thought it was funny. And a lot of people thought it was funny too, because that's what it's about. I'm not disrespecting my mother by writing the lyrics for that. It's meant to be funny. There's a lot of lack of sense of humor out there and a lot of overly sensitive people out there. You know what I mean? Of course. So, like I said, she was in on it. So it's all good. Anyway, there is a meteor shower peaking. Yesterday was the southern. I get them all confused because there's two, but it's 15 to 20 per hour. But there is one tonight. I just can't remember the name of it. Could be Aquarids. I don't even know. I get them confused. All I know is I'm just concerned about the Perseids coming up. Okay. Here we go. Over southern U.S. It's best seen in the southern U.S. So tonight is the Alpha Capricornids. These showers will appear to originate near the constellation Aquarius. And for the one that was last night, and Capricornus tonight is that one. but the meteors may appear anywhere in the night sky over the U.S. Best viewed from the southern hemisphere, but can also be seen lower latitudes in the northern hemisphere. And the one that's tonight can be seen both in northern and southern. But it means that the southern states will have the best view of both showers. Now, the problem is, I think I'm in the wrong direction where the tripod is, and I'm not removing the tripod. Even if the weather was nice. It's staying there. Oh, wow. I'm gonna check that out. Oh, it's not copyrighted stuff, right? Genghis? Because we're on YouTube. Oh, hell yeah, it's in the wrong place. Oh, God, that's out. It's out. I can't do this meteor shower. Out. Not happening. It's viewing toward the south. The tripod is in a bad spot where all you'll see is trees. So that's impossible. And that tripod is not moving at 11:30 at night in the dark to bring it all the way back to the front of the house when there's still trees that will obstruct it. The tripod is set up for the Perseids, and it's going to stay there. Which is what, next weekend? Sunday night, I think? Next Sunday? So, he's with the Houston Songwriters Association. I don't know if is it copyright material though? I like it.
Well, there's a buzzing of love circling low in the sky. He's found a love, he knows it's gonna die.
Oh man,
But now I wonder,
I got a drum part in my
Lord,
head for
I
that.
wonder, hey, why is he circling over me? Is there something going on around here that maybe I can't see? So darling, there's something you're trying to tell me. Baby, something you're trying to say. Like maybe we've been living like two ships passing in the night, except we're doing it in the stark broad light of day. 'Cause there's a buzzing of love, he's circling low in the sky. He's found a love, he knows he's gonna die. But now I wonder, Lord, I wonder, hey, why is he circling over me? Is there something going on
I
around
like
here
it.
that maybe I can't see? Darling, this love of ours is like trying to herd up a bunch of cats. There's always something wrong with this and something wrong with that. Ever since this love began, it's been trying hard to die. It's time we sign the papers, pull the plug, and baby, say goodbye. 'Cause there's a buzzing of love circling low in the sky. He's found a love, he knows it's gonna die.
But now I wonder, Lord, I wonder, why is he circling over me? Is there something going on around here that maybe I can't see?
What?
Is there something going on around here that maybe I can't see?
Absolutely beautiful. Love it. I'm actually going to bookmark that. That was beautiful. And it says here, it was a mix of eclectic folk, country, and blues. The music was refined around Kerrville song circles and crackling campfires. It's mostly true stories wrapped in lyrical metaphor. And like he said, the Houston Association Acoustic Musicians, HAM, that is used for ongoing fundraising events. His song, this is really awesome, Genghis. This is absolutely awesome. I never knew you never revealed that. Seriously. That's freaking awesome. That is beautiful. I love it. I was thinking of drum parts in my head. My gosh. But it's acoustic. That's the whole point. Even though they can use airbrush, like the brushes on the drums, that would have been really cool. Because they could have, it's still acoustic. Drums are considered acoustic. This is an electronic drum set. The one that's in the garage is considered an acoustic drum set, technically. So you can still get away with the acoustic value of it. That I would love to hang out with your dad. Screw you, Genghis. I want to go hang out with your dad. Oh my gosh. I'm just kidding. Maybe not. But that was awesome. That really was. I can't believe it's almost midnight already. I did go bike riding this morning. I did my 12 rough miles at the lake. I did 12 rough miles yesterday too. It's amazing. I can get rid of this background screen. There's no Skywatch tonight. Plus, I bet you there is a concern developing for the southeastern coastal United States. I don't think it's going to be anything serious. It's still early, but it needs to be kept an eye on. It is no question this has to be, you got to keep an eye on this one. But like I said, I don't see anything major, but a lot can change because that water, see, the system is over land too much. It's over land too much to give it time to develop. But look at this low pressure, okay? Look where it is. This is just to give you an idea of how the water is so warm, it doesn't take much for these things to develop, even when they were over land. And the month of August is coming. Things could pick up for the hurricane season as it approaches really September. But this low is just a bullshit low, unorganized. It's an unorganized low. It was spending most of its time over land masses, which is detrimental to any development. But now it's up here. Now, the water is not as warm up there, so it's not going to do a rapid development in those temperatures. Where it's going to make the rapid development is in the Atlantic, heading toward the Caribbean or Caribbean, and then continuing into the Gulf or up toward Florida. So that temperature is still warm enough. Ma, can you close my door? It's still warm enough for slow intensification because it's over cooler water. So that's a fortunate thing. And with this model, the Euro, it has it, fortunately, curving out to sea. That's the Euro. The American has a complete different picture. American has something here. But it's the same system, but it drifted south of Florida into the Gulf, and it just doesn't have the time to get its act together. I don't think, unless it's, oh my God, what is that? Why is it doing that? See, that's over warmer water. I hope this model's wrong. See, that's over the warm water, the above normal temperature water. And there's nothing to really interfere with this thing as far as wind shear. Oh boy. Oh, that's not a good. That is not good. Because even though it's moving, it's juggling around, it's jogging, eventually, matter of time when systems come from the west, they always make that northern turn and then they head northeast or east. They do that curve. This is a major concern. But this is the American. I don't trust the American model. I'm not a fan. But we're gonna see who's right now. Oh my God. Let this be wrong. Because that will be that can be potentially a category 3. Making landfall, who knows? All hypothetical speculation. Because this model's 10 days out. But it needs to be kept an eye on. You have to keep an eye on this. Now, one model's right, one model's wrong. They don't agree at all. One's got it going curving and out back to the Atlantic. This one has it going continuously on to the Gulf, the system, and develops in the Gulf. But let's hope the American is wrong. Because if that's the model that's kind of correct, now it could be jogging, it could be whatever. It's going to make landfall somewhere there in the Gulf. That's inevitable. It's not going to go down. It's going to eventually go up. So just be mindful if you live in Texas, coastal Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Panhandle. Just be mindful that the one model is showing this. I don't believe this to be true. Just me. So I'm just putting that out there, though, that there is the potential of development. I do want to see what the hell's going on here. Oh, we have maybe thunderstorms to our west. Nothing crazy. Yeah, that's not coming up. That's moving northeast. Yeah, it's going up. That's not a problem. See, but there's still clouds and stuff going on, and it's very humid, very hazy, nasty out there. It's back to the nasty. But like I said, I did my little biking. Oh, the batteries come Saturday for the bike. The 2 batteries come Saturday. I won't be here. I'll be in Pine Bush. But we're going to have those extra batteries now. Which means I'm going to be doing some long travels. Not because I'm going to depend on the batteries, because I can. I do 25 miles, and that's what I was mentioning earlier. I do, yeah, that's horrible, Bob, with the fires. Think of the people in California. God, it's devastating what's going on in Northern California. It's actually going on in a lot of states. Oregon. I was speaking to somebody yesterday. She said Eastern Oregon, even some places in Washington, it's like it's crazy with the fires. But 12 miles of hilly, real mountain biking terrain. And I'm telling you, there's 2 spots where I go on the bike, on that trail near the lake. Let me make sure it's 2. Yeah, it's 2 spots. Actually, it's 3. That scares me. Every time I go on that part, I think I'm gonna wipe out. It worries me every time I approach these 3 areas. One of them is it's a big hill and then it just drops like it's a steep decline down and then it turns. And I'm like, I love it, but if I don't make that turn right, because it's loose gravel, it's rocks, it's not like you're getting traction. You're not. And if you're not prepared for that, you're going down. Because the bike is sliding. That's unavoidable unless you go real slow. And even then, it's going to slide a little because it's loose. And then there's one that's a 90-degree turn. The trail just goes straight and then it makes a 90 and it's very loose. Scary. Oh my. And then there's another one where it's another big hill and it makes a gradual turn. But again, it's all loose gravel and rock. The tire just goes. The back tire. So that one's rough on one half. I did it 3 times today and yesterday. But when I go, I got all that. I got all that. I have it all. I even have new tubes. Bob put that in my head. When I do pavement, it's so nice. This builds me up. These tough, real, rocky terrain trails with the hills. Builds me up, builds my legs up, builds me up. So when I do these pavement trails, it's like, this is bullshit. This is too easy. That's why I can do 25 miles without depending on the electric. Because this is building me up. 12 miles of this, no electric, is building me up. Because it's hard. So then, like Thursday, if I go riding, because I'm not going tomorrow. Thursday when I go on the pavement, it's like, wow, this is easy. I can pedal for miles. But the point with the batteries, let's say I start to do, so I usually do 25-mile round trips. I can afford to say, okay, let's do 25 miles one way. Because I can do that. I don't know if I can make it back, though. That's 25 back. That's when the electric, but I'm going to push myself to try to do 30, maybe 35, because I've never been there before, so I don't know what to expect. So I have to have, those safety protocols in place that I can make it back. Because what happens if I get exhausted or I get like a cramp or something? I definitely hydrate. That's not a problem. I always bring plenty of fluids. But the point is, the body aches, back, butt. Because a lot of times when I'm riding, I have to stand up and pedal fast. So, like if I'm going down a downhill and it goes, I'm standing up on the bike. Because I get tired of sitting on the bike. It does get to you after a while, sitting on a bike for miles and miles. So at times, I will just stand and glide for a while, just to make that stretch. Now I do stop, but I don't rest. I do stop to drink Gatorade, whatever. But I don't stop for long. I get right back on the bike and go. But I think on these longer trips, I'm going to make it I'm definitely going to make it a must to stop and rest for like a half hour at least. Can't eat a lot because that's not a good thing. I could eat light, you know, something light, and definitely drink fluids. But I'm not gonna have a big fucking big meal. That would not be a good idea. Riding 25 miles back. Something light, yes. Nothing heavy. So I'm planning on some serious all day. Nah, I don't know about 30 miles on the bike takes me about 2 hours, a little less. $50 miles is probably going to be 5 with rest. So you're talking at least a half a day trip. And I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm going to do it at the right pace. But can you imagine? I got such great trails here. I mean, literally, if I went 25 miles one way and then back, I could go from here to Westchester County, which is kind of like on the outside of New York City. I won't go into New York City, but I'll be in the county adjacent, right next to, that borders the Bronx. That's what 25 miles would do. Now, Westchester County is a big county. I'll be on the northern side of Westchester County, but still, that's one hell of a ride. Now, eventually, I am definitely going to do a New York City adventure along the Hudson River, the west side. I'm definitely going to do it. And that would be a 50, because I'm going to park in the northern Bronx, or, yeah, probably in the northern Bronx, and then make to the trail from there. Because that trail extends all the way from New York City, all the way to Canada, like I say a million times, and from Albany to Buffalo. And the great thing about the New York path is it's completely on paved off-road. You do not go on the street. You're never gonna go on the street. Up here north of me and all the way to Canada, there's a lot of, you're on the road, but in a bike lane. But you're still on a road. But from New York City, most part, all the way where I've been, to where I went to Kingston, it's all paved, but off-road. I think there's one small little section in the Bronx that may be on the road. I'm not sure. Here it is. I'm gonna check that. But I would love to do that New York City trail and GoPro it and get all the city, the skyline, the Hudson, Jersey side. I would love to do that. Just to do it and get it on the GoPro. And it'll be a beautiful thing. And it's actually really nice. Let's see, Hudson. Manhattan Greenway, the Battery to Inwood Hill. Let's see how long this is. See, this is only 12.5. That's nothing. That's short. 12.5 is BS. For me, it's nothing. Let me zoom out. So from 1 to 2 is 12 miles, 12 and a half. But see here, 2 to 3, yellow, it's in the orange. That's road. That's road. On road asphalt. See? The entire stretch going up to the George Washington Bridge from the Battery to here is off-road, but here you're on the street till you get to 3. Then it's back to off-road. So I don't know, I'm not feeling that too much. It doesn't look too crazy. But when you look at it like this, you're cutting and then it turns green. Here, back to green. So I don't know. I don't know. I would have to look at the Google satellite. Because this is retarded. They don't give you the way. I gotta look. Let's see. I want to see if this is an actual bike lane. So where are we? What is this? What is that? Inwood Hill Park. Inwood Hill Park. So let's look that up. Because this is definitely a future trip for me. Let's see what it looks like on Google Earth. Because it starts right at the beginning of the park. I don't know why they didn't go through that. Inwood Hill Park, New York. Okay. So it's down here. And then it goes to here. Let's look at it. Yeah, there's a bike lane. But see how it's on the road? So you got traffic going near you. You gotta go through all that bullshit. But at least the bike lane is there. So it's doable. See the bike lane? But you're still gonna go through the streets of New York City. You know, on this part, I'm definitely using the e-bike to get through this madness. No doubt about it. I will definitely use the E for this. Just to get the hell out of here. So that's the dicey part in this trail. Now, there is a turn that comes. And there it is. There's the bike lane goes this way. And there it is on the side. Behind these buildings. Going north. And then it does all kinds of turns to other places, so. But this is not gonna be too bad. I don't think. It looks longer than it is. 5 minutes, I'm through it all. But now, what is the total? Let me go back. Empire State Trail. So 1 to 2 is 12 miles. What is 2 to 3? Can't be much. 2 to 3 is the one on the street. See, New York City on-road section. It's only 3 miles. That's nothing. So that's what? 15 and a half now. 15 and a half to get to 3 from the Battery of New York City. Which is now makes that a 30 30-mile round trip if I go all the way from here down to the battery and back. Where is number 4? Holy shit, where is number 4? 4 is way up there. So 3 is doable to 1, which is 30 miles round trip. That's very doable. But let's see how long 3 to 4 is. It looks long. This one. 13 miles. That's 26. Holy shit. So, now that would be a 56-mile round trip. That's extreme. The reason I say that, because I technically could park over here by the Tappan Zee Bridge. But look how far the parking is. So maybe I would get the parking more closer. Like, here's 3. I don't want to go into the city too deep. Maybe get like parking here. South County Trail parking. That's nice. And then I don't have to go deep into the city to park. I really want to avoid the city at all costs. Now, this still would be quite a stretch. Yonkers. Shit. It's all Yonkers. It's probably near the Bronx River Parkway if I had to guess. Old Croton. Okay, time out. What parkway is that? I'm thinking that's the Bronx River Parkway. Springbrook. That turns in. That is the Bronx River. Turns into. There's 87. Is here. It's a little too far north. I don't know if there's a ramp off 87 to go to these. I don't see it. The sawmill is right next to it. But I'm not seeing any ramps off the sawmill on this. Maybe it just doesn't show it. See, because this is a nice parking. Right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy that. And look at the terrain on Google Earth. This is a definite future mission with the bike, and it's gonna be gorgeous, but it's not gonna be easy. Let's see. I always scout my trips. Always. I want to know what I'm going to be. Oh, it is the parking. Okay. The sawmill is right there. That's about almost an hour away from here, south. But what I'm looking for. Oh, there we go. Right there. But now it turns this way. Where's the parking? Up there. I would have to go. Bullshit. There's one right here. There's a light that goes right to the parking. That's awesome. That is perfect. Look at that. There's a light here. I would make a left, then another left to park. It's right off the sawmill. That's perfect. That's the Bronx River. So that actually makes excellent sense to do. And I believe 87 connects to the sawmill right there. Over the Tappan Zee Bridge. Right there. Sawmill. How can we confirm? Let's jump on the highway. Tappan Zee Bridge is close.
Alexa, turn the light on in the room.
Oh boy.
Come on, Tycho.
Momzilla.
Okay.
Right? You like the song?
Yeah.
See? She likes it.
I don't know how you do this stuff, you know?
I don't do anything. It's the AI that's doing it all. Don't give me credit. There it is. Sawmill. Perfect. Right over the Tappan Zee Bridge. I call it the Tappan Zee Bridge. I don't call it the Cuomo Bridge. No way. And it's right over the fucking... I think it's right over. Yeah, the Tappan Zee Bridge is right there. Yep. It's like... right there. That's perfect to go and start the ride. Now, I don't know how many miles it is from there to the battery, which I can check now. There's the sawmill. Where's the parking? Right there. That's not bad at all. But how many miles is it from here to the Battery of New York? Get directions. I don't know if it's gonna say battery. Battery, New York. I don't know if that's gonna work. I could just do the ferry. Oh shit, it is gonna work. How long is that? 20, anywhere approximately, let's just say 20, just say 25. One says 21, that's roads. The other one says 24. So say 25. So that would be a 50-mile round trip. From the parking all the way down to the city. And they're taking the long way. Those routes are taking the long way. Actually, on the bike, it would be a lot shorter because it's gonna go straight. This is going like to the FDR. Oh my God, that's horrible. That cannot be. For a car, that's bad. That's really bad directions. Bicycle. 24.2 miles. 2-hour ride. There it is. There's the trail. There it is. Alexa, shut off living room light. So it's 24 miles. That's not bad. That is not
Living room
bad.
Isn't responding. Please check its network connection and power supply.
Oh man, I could rest in the battery on the bike, chill out, eat something, and then make my way back. So that's very doable. Alexa, shut off living room light. Oh, I just got breaking news. It seems like Israel did take out. Hamas has confirmed a hit on someone. I just got the news. Alexa, shut off living room light.
Okay.
Alexa, shut off living room light. Mom is driving me nuts with this, thank God. What is this news that just came on my
Okay.
screen? This was 10 minutes ago from this news outlet. Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh killed in Israeli airstrike in Iran. Oh my God, don't even go there. See now, that is gonna, oh my God, this is gonna cause a lot of shit right now. They hit him in Iran. That's not fucking good. That they did the attack on Iranian soil. They took him out. They got the leader of Hamas in Iran. Holy shit, this must be all over the fucking news right now. A raid? So what? They had Mossad go in? Mossad agents went in? It says during a raid. Holy shit. So that has to be the Mossad that went in Iran and took him out in Tehran. Oh my God. Oh, this is going to be an escalation. If I have to predict, this could be an escalation right here. Okay, now it's saying an Israeli strike. But what kind of strike? He was killed after attending an inauguration ceremony for the new Iranian president. Died as a result of the treacherous Zionist raid on his residence in Tehran. Raid. Is it an airstrike? Is it a fucking raid? What was... I also report his death without giving any further details. It looks like airstrikes. Yeah, it says the strike. I guess raid is... The strike came after Israeli military said it killed... Oh my gosh, developing story. That's the Gaza Strip, that's different. Wow. This must be all over the news right now, I would think, right? I don't watch the TV, so I don't know. But we're going to have to look this up on YouTube. To do it on Iranian soil, they're not going to take that shit lightly. I'm going to tell you that right now. Especially that this was the leader. And he was there for the inauguration of the new Iranian president. This, I'm telling you, I don't know how this is going to play out. First Beirut and now Iran. Oh, live coverage. Agenda Free is covering it.
Carried out by their Mossad intelligence agency.
I knew it was Mossad.
Hamas
What
said
did I say?
Haniyeh,
I knew it.
Airstrike. There you go.
Airstrike.
Breaking news. According to Associated Press, the Hamas word that they use was airstrike.
Okay.
Okay, when I translated it, it came out raid.
Exactly.
But,
Exactly.
Bloomberg and AP are saying that the Hamas language said it was an airstrike. Hamas said Haniya was killed in an Israeli airstrike on his residence in Tehran after he participated in the inauguration of Iran's new president. Unbelievable. In another statement, the group quoted Haniya as saying the Palestinian cause has costs and we are ready for these costs. Hamas did not immediately respond to requests for further comment. Let's see what else Associated Press says.
Yeah, but what is
Ismail
Iran
Haniya
saying?
left the Gaza Strip in 2019 and had lived in exile in Qatar. And again, my understanding is that Israel would never have struck him in Qatar. It would have been a huge. It's just an understanding that Israel has with other countries.
Bullshit. You're gonna so it's not worse to strike him in Iran? That's worse.
To attack him in Qatar. But they got him in Iran. The top Hamas leader in Gaza is Yahya Sinwar, who masterminded the October 7th attack. So it's not that there's one leader. There's the top leader. I mean, who is like way at the top of the list. I believe he might be the top. I have to imagine that Haniya was one of Israel's top handful of targets. But maybe the top one is Sinwar. So Israel is still looking for Yahya Sinwar. But he is the top Hamas leader in Gaza. Haniya was the Hamas top political leader, and he was in Qatar. In April, an Israeli airstrike in Gaza killed 3 of Haniya's sons and 4 of his grandchildren.
Oh my, this.
In an interview with Al Jazeera at the time, Haniya said the killings would not pressure Hamas into softening its position.
Now, I disagree with what he just said. I understand what he's saying about the Qatar part and certain agreements with other Arab countries, for but to do it in Iran, Iran's not going to just stand by and do nothing because they struck him in their territory, and especially in Tehran. So I don't see how that's less significant than Qatar. To me, that's more severe. So I don't know. All I know is this shit is breaking right now. And Iran has, I don't believe, has yet issued a statement, but it's not going to be good. I can tell you that right now. It's not the point that they took him out at all. That is important to them because they support Hamas. It's just that they did it on their territory. I'm telling you, Iran's not going to take that lightly. This could be an escalation. Now, Iran can say, you know what? Hezbollah, do your thing. Green light them in Lebanon. And I don't know, like I said, I'm heavily speculating right now. But boy, oh boy, this is definitely a major escalation. I see what, I mean, Israel has been really trying to find this guy and take him out. Obviously, he was a top target. But again, to do it in Iran, in Tehran, however you want to say it. I'm mispronouncing it, I'm sure. But, oh boy. And I think Iran said if you ever attacked our territory, there would be, severe repercussions. Well, they just did. Not only did they do it, they did it in their, is that their capital? Is that their capital? Tehran? I believe so, right? Somebody may correct me. It's all good. But this is major. And he's a familiar face if you've been watching the news and the media. I believe he was the one that fled through the tunnels with his family. I may be getting them confused. But this is, I don't know what the news is doing right now. Because like I said, I don't really watch TV. But I'd be curious to see what I-24 is showing. That's the Israeli news outlet, and I can see that on my TV. And they usually go live, but I'm sure they're live now. I'm gonna look. Can you imagine what Al Jazeera is reporting right now? And let me put it in here. He's just reading articles like I'm reading articles. Breaking news. What's this? Okay.
From IRGC, Public Relations Department. In fact, the government of Iran has ordered probe in this entire incident. A statement also went on to offer condolences to the people of Palestine, Muslim world, and the resistance front's fighter over the Hamas leader's death. In fact, a statement by Hamas says an Israel raid killed the Palestinian group's leader. That is what Hamas has said in a statement. Ismail Haniya was in Tehran to attend the inauguration of Iran's new president, and in fact he also met supreme leader yesterday. So leaders all across the world, those who have the countries which have good relations with Iran, they had sent their representative to Tehran yesterday for the inauguration of the new president. And in fact, Ismail Haniya was also invited. He was also one of the guests which Tehran.
Now remember, listen to what he's saying. He was there as a guest of Iran to attend the inauguration of the new Iranian president. So they attacked what they recognize as a dignitary on their territory. He was invited to attend the inauguration of the new Iranian president. And Israel had the nerve to attack him and kill him there while he was there for that. So I don't know where this is going to go. I cannot see Iran taking this lightly. I can't.
Was killed in that attack that has been confirmed to us by IDF. Now we are getting to know that Ismail Haniya, the mastermind of October 7 attacks, the face of Hamas. In fact, he's the mastermind and also the key negotiator on behalf of Hamas. He stays in Qatar, has been killed in Tehran. Now we are awaiting more response coming in from Israel, or in fact the other countries. But right now we have the IDF spokesperson. We have IDF spokesperson. Yes, so we have IDF spokesperson. Not exactly confirming what has happened, but yeah, reacting to the development, the news of the killing of Ismail Haniya. So it's a big story that we are tracking, and yes, we have this reaction right here. Jonathan, who is a senior fellow at FDDA and former spokesperson of IDF, has come out with a tweet saying, and I quote, "It's been a very, very long time since the free world had good news coming out of Tehran. Today is a good day for freedom and a bad day to be a cowardly terrorist in Beirut or in Tehran." So he's a former spokesperson of IDF. He has come out with this tweet. We are still trying to get in touch with the Israelis. In fact, we are trying to know their position on this killing. Because the Hamas has blamed Israel for this killing. The probe is underway. In fact, we are also trying to find out more details.
You're welcome, Bob.
How was this entire assassination plotted, and what time this happened?
See, what the fear is that this becomes a widespread, all-out conflict in the region. Yesterday, Israel hit Beirut, Lebanon. Today, they hit Tehran in Iran. Holy shit. They're not playing. This is I can't imagine. Take cover, right? Fuck. Oh my god. Like I said, I don't watch TV, so I only saw that when I saw something come in on my computer and an email, because I get news coming from third party, not CNN. You know, I get it from the AP or Reuters. You know, when something comes over the wire, I get the emails, and even they, you know, but at least it's a lot less than fucking CNN. But I saw it, and I was like, wait a minute, did I just see that? I thought it was somebody in Hamas in the Gaza Strip, in Gaza. But no, they did it in Iran, in Tehran. They took this guy out there. Holy. So, Iranian media, Hamas political leader is killed. I can't imagine what the Iranian statement is going to look like. But a lot of it's, you know, bluster, rhetoric. But boy, oh boy, let's all keep an eye on how this one develops, especially with the elections coming up. Oh. Because usually, as policy, Israel lets the United States know when they're about to do something, but not always. I wonder. I'm just wondering right now. Like, what the hell's going on behind the scenes right now? You know people are scrambling right now. They have to. This is a major hit in Iran, of all places. An airstrike in Iran to take a guy who was invited by Iran to attend the inauguration of their new president. He was a guest of their country. Regardless of how you view this man, that's the way Iran is going to look at it. You attacked a dignitary. I'm sure they're going to say, oh, this violated all kinds of international law. This is going to be bigger than you realize. It's just because it's just breaking and it's happening. There's going to be a lot of shit involved with this one. So, anyway, I don't usually do this, but when I seen it, and I mean, this is pretty big news. And like I said, I don't know what the media is doing, mainstream media. I really don't care. But I am curious to see how the I-24 people are showing this. And I don't think I can see that on YouTube. I-24 News. Yeah, they don't have live broadcast. Maybe they do. Nah, see, this is an old stream. It's not live. Yeah, I-24 is not live on here. They usually go live at 1 a.m. Eastern. So that could be why they're in rebroadcast, but I don't believe that. Okay, that's what we're watching. What the fuck is this? Alright, that's something different. I'm seeing if there's anything else covering it. Live. Al Jazeera, English. Can imagine what they're saying. Oh, I can imagine what Al Jazeera is saying.
And this is the real challenge to the world, is for the world to come to grips with the reality that Zionism and the state of Israel as its modern embodiment needs to be defined and contained. People are willing and anxious to live peacefully with a Jewish state and have the Jews live in a normal situation. so that they don't have the white racist apartheid treatment that they got from white Christian Europeans and North Americans and Russians
Okay.
for several hundred years. So that's the ultimate point, is that there has to be a political resolution, and Hamas has been one of the parties offering to coexist, and
So
Israel
here you're
keeps
hearing the
replying with
other
killing
side.
and death and genocide.
Yeah, let me just get a final thought from
Oh
you.
my
Rami, because
God,
we want to
Bob.
go back to Gaza and speak to our correspondent there, just to get some context and reaction from people in Gaza.
Grave escalation that
I mean,
won't
it's
achieve its
interesting, Rami, because you're
goals.
talking about this widening of the circle of all these groups that Israel's fighting: Yemen, Lebanon, West Bank, Hamas in Gaza, Iran, Syria. I mean, the list just gets
Again,
bigger and
there will
bigger.
be a lot of
What about
bluster
the
and
impact then
rhetoric.
on the war in Gaza? Are we now even further away from any kind of ceasefire, Rami?
I really don't know. I don't think anybody knows. My suspicion is that we're maybe getting closer to a ceasefire for several reasons.
So
the
this is
person in the
all.
world who is
I don't
most
feel like
terrified of
watching
what's
this
going on
now. And
is Kamala Harris, the Democratic candidate.
see how
for
it's going to
president
get
who expects to win
politicized.
now. She is in a terrible.
See, now that's why I said the elections are coming up. It's definitely going to have an effect. It's definitely going to have an effect. But everybody's jumping on this right now. So this is breaking. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off because I'm curious what's going on from the Israeli perspective. Because if you have I-24, like I do, on my provider, they really give you like the latest updates of what's going on, live views, cameras, just to see what they're saying. Because I like to see both sides. I like to see what one side's saying, the other side's saying. I like to see different things to see where everybody's coming from now. That's why Al Jazeera is the other side point of view. It's totally different from what the I-24 people will be saying, because that's the Israeli news broadcast. So I'm very curious to see. Now, what time is it? I think Israel is 7 hours ahead, I believe. Alexa, what time is it in Tel Aviv, Israel? 7:34 a.m. Alexa, what time is it in Tel Aviv? The fuck? Alexa, what time is it in Tel Aviv? Alexa, what time is it in Israel?
In Israel, it's 7:35 a.m.
I was right. It's 7 hours ahead. Alexa, what time is it in Iran? Alexa, what time is it in Iran?
In Iran, it's 8:05 a.m.
So they're 7.5. Nothing's gonna happen during the day. Usually it doesn't. It's always the nighttime under the nighttime, because that's, the daytime is not the time to really attack or do anything. It's always that overnight. That's why it happened during the nighttime, because now it's morning there. So now they're assessing. So this had to happen in the wee hours while it was still dark. I'd be paying attention tonight. Well, what time? 7 hours. So say by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, when it's 10 o'clock there or 10:30 over there, depending which one. Got to see if anybody else does anything under the nightfall as a counter, retaliation. I'd be paying a lot of attention tomorrow. Nothing's going to happen now. You know what I mean? Bob, you're funny. But and you know, today when I was bike riding, I saw somebody that I haven't seen in a year. And he said, "Wow, you lost a lot of weight." I said, "Yeah. Thanks for recognizing it, because you're one of the few people that's actually said it to me." He started laughing. I said, "Wait till I see. I hope it's not another year till I see you again, but if we do, let me know what you think then." It was a big, like, joke. You didn't see the news? I was just showing it. Now, Fantasy, let me get your perspective before I leave, because I'm going to go watch TV now, and I'm going to watch the Israeli perspective. I was just watching what Al Jazeera was saying. They took out the Hamas, one of Hamas's top leaders in Iran with a fucking airstrike in Tehran. Israel killed him. That's a major escalation. And people, you know, I'm just being objective from my point of view. The man was invited. Despite what you think of what side, doesn't matter. This is the way I look at it. The man was invited by Iran to attend the inauguration of their new president. He is a fucking guest of their country. There are international laws. Iran is not going to take this lightly. They even warned Israel of even thinking about striking within their territory. Without even this happening, they warned them, don't even think about launching an attack into Iran. Or there's going to be severe consequences. Well, not only did they do it, they did it after their new president was inaugurated. This was a person that was invited, and they hit their capital. Yesterday it was Beirut, Lebanon. Today it's Iran. And people aren't worried about this becoming a fucking wide-scale war throughout the Middle East. I'm seriously concerned of escalation now. Because now Iran could say, okay, enough is enough. Hezbollah, do what you want on Israel now. They'll definitely use their proxy and say, okay, Hezbollah, we're giving you the green light. Use those fucking thousands of rockets and just launch them at Iran. Enough's enough. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying anything is possible. And I hope it doesn't escalate into some crazy shit right now. But this isn't good. I know where you stand, Fantasy. I totally get it. But do you understand what I'm saying? Looking at it on a level playing field, just looking at it for the semantics and what it is, from a rational point of view, this is a major, major escalation. I honestly don't think Iran is going to take this fucking lightly. I'm telling you that right now. So, you know what I'm saying? That's like, you've been hearing a lot about the what is it? The Druze? Where the children got killed? The Druze? They're not citizens of Israel. They refuse. They're Arab. And they live in the Golan Heights. This is very complicated. You know, Druze, right? It is Druze. This is... I'm telling you, this is bad. They're Syrians. This is bad. A lot of people might think it's fucking great. You know, I'm sure the Israeli government is fucking jumping up and down. Don't jump up and down too long. Because other people are not turning a blind eye to this. And other countries. And other governments. So this is... And I'm trying to be as fair as possibly I can. Being an objective. That's why I showed one side and I showed Al Jazeera, showing you the different points of view. Yeah, see, so there's a lot. And not only that, with the rocket, they said it was Iranian. And look what happened tonight in Iran, or this morning in Iran. Yeah, we're not here to fearmonger. And I will say, I am speculating and putting out my opinion. There is no basis of fact on any of the hypotheses, theories. You know, we don't know where this goes from here. I'm just thinking back to myself and saying, okay, they, like I said, they just hit a guy, a Palestinian leader, who is actually part of the talks trying to negotiate a peace. Even though, you know, Israel has whatever intention they have against this man, whatever. I get it, you know, I get that part. I get that part from an Israeli point of view, I guess. But the point is, he was this is the way I look at it, the overall thing. He was an invited dignitary to attend the inauguration of the new Iranian president. He's a guest of Iran. He was invited by Iran to attend the inauguration ceremony. And what does Israel do? Because they were waiting for an opening, because he's been in hiding. They knew he was there. What did they do? They struck Tehran in a fucking airstrike on Iranian territory to take him out. I don't know. You couldn't have waited to another place? You had to do it in Tehran? After the man was just at inauguration for their president, their new president, as an invited guest? Regardless how you look at this guy, it doesn't matter. Look at the international laws. It's criminal. This could be considered like a fucking war crime. Because you attack the sovereign, regardless, there are laws. There are laws. International laws. I'm sure The Hague is going to be looking into this one. Bob. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, fantasy. People don't realize how serious this is. This is bad. It doesn't put remember, I'm not politicizing this. Because you know that's going to happen. I'm saying for face value, just at face value, looking at what just happened, is a major, major escalation by Israel moving forward now. And they had to know. They fucking had to know that this was going to be, there's going to be a reaction. I don't know. I'm speculating. I don't think this is going to get better. Does this make things better? Does things stay the same after something like this? Or does it make it worse? Those are your options. And I'm thinking it's going to make it a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? Does anybody else think of this in a rational sense? Like I said, take the politics out of it. Take personal opinion out of it. On where you sit with this. Just look at it for face value and what happened. What were the leading and what were the events that occurred? And I'll just reemphasize it. He was invited by Iran as a recognized dignitary to attend, oh shit, my camera froze, to attend their new president's inauguration ceremony. He is a guest of Iran. No matter how you view it, Iran is a sovereign country. Doesn't matter what you and I think. It's what they think. It's their country. Regardless if you deem them the enemy, whatever. I'm just looking, like I said, I'm looking at it for the face value of what occurred. So I'm curious. I'm really curious to see what happens now within the next 24 to 48 hours or 72 hours in the next few days. And I don't think it's going to be good. Now, before I leave, does anybody have an opinion on it? On this? On YouTube? Anybody have an opinion? Does it? All right, I'll put it this way. Do you think there's going to be a major escalation because of it? I'll ask that question. Do you think what happened a few hours ago is going to cause a major escalation in the Middle East? I'm just curious before I go, because it is getting late. It's almost 1 a.m. I didn't get a copyright strike yet for SUNO music on my YouTube. I'm waiting. I'm standing by. There's always going to be a faction fantasy, and in a divided country, you're going to have two different points of view. But I think the majority of the country will say no boots on the ground. That's one thing I think the vast majority of Americans would say, no boots on the ground. We will not put American troops on the ground. Even though there's still a few hundred in the Middle East around different areas in Syria and Iraq. But yeah, I don't know about the no weapons period part. I don't know about that part. Because again, politically, one side wants to give them all the weapons they need. The other one is like, not so fast. They're using these weapons to do what they do in Gaza. And we can see what they're using it for in other countries now. Concrete shoes and crab traps. What's going on? This almost sounds like the mob, Bob. When you say concrete shoes. Oh my gosh. So like I said, I pray for peace. I hope people pray for peace. Oh, that's why. You know that Calabrese was in my family, my Italian side. Calabrese. It's in my family. That's why whenever I bring up Gotti, Mom flips out on stuff. I know. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to get off because I actually want to see what I-24 is showing right now. The Israeli news. I have to see how they're talking this up. I'm curious. I'm just curious where they're going with this now. I have a town close to... Okay. Well, love to all of you. Yeah, I need to go to bed too. I got to rest. I got a meeting in the morning. But love to all of you. Pray for peace. Regardless what your point of view is. I always pray for peace. War is like never the answer. Nothing comes from good from war. And a lot of innocent people die in the name of wars. Anyway, I hate to end on such a solemn note. That's why I'm curious, Fantasy, what they're saying right now, because they go live if they're not live already, because there's special breaking shit going on. They usually go live normally at 1 o'clock in the morning here, Eastern. But I bet you they're live now. I'm curious to see the narrative that's coming out from Israel. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, love to all of you. Be well, be blessed, be safe. Till the next time, peace out. Tomorrow night. And hopefully the shit hasn't hit the fan.